Hey, welcome to another episode of Stand Tall, where we read from Sun Tzu's Art of War and then try to pair it with the Western Stoicism philosophy of readings from the Daily Stoic and reflect and bring them together. So, without further ado, let us dive into 731 from Sun Tzu's Art of War. To be near the goal while the enemy is still far from it, to wait at ease while the enemy is toiling and struggling, to be well fed while the enemy is famished, this is the art of husbanding one's strength. Positioning, maneuvering, this is the art of husbanding one's strength, right? Make sure that you're always in a better position. As long as you're doing that, things will turn out all right. It's quite simple, but always begs to be said. I think that these interpretations always have a little bit more substance that we can go off. So, an alternate interpretation: standing your ground, awaiting those far away, awaiting the weary in comfort, awaiting the hungry with full stomachs, is mastering strength. This refers to the forces of guest and host. This is from Li Quan, who, if you've heard in some of the past ones, Li Quan talks most about like the guest and the host. So, the art of war for hospitality. This is what is meant by getting others to come to you, while avoid being included to go to others. From Dumu. Well, I thought that those would have a little bit more substance, and I do like what they are teaching. And it makes me think outside the box, especially with Li Quan, guest and host. I mean, from a war standpoint, right? Be well fed, and the enemy is hungry. But from a business standpoint, the opposite of this holds true, and be ready for that, especially if you're operating something like a restaurant or a hotel when people are hungry and they're near their goal, and they're, like just kind of all of this human stuff. Obviously that's a very boiled down and basic, I don't know, interpretation of that, but that is where that lies. Master your strength, don't push yourself too hard, remember to stay well maneuvered. So let us jump over here to July 27th from the man, the myth, the legends, Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. So credit where credit is due, as all the videos prior to this as well. So we're just doing this to hopefully give people access, to a book club of sorts, to where we could talk about it and share our interpretations of your interpretations, and thus hopefully create something better. So July 27th, where is anything better? This is not planned. This is just the days. Indeed, I don't read these before I start. So, indeed, if you find anything in human life better than justice, only if I mess up really bad. Indeed, if you find anything in life better than justice, truth, self control, courage, in short, no water left. Anything better than sufficiency of your own mind, which keeps you acting according to the demands of true reason and accepting what fate gives you outside of your own power of choice. I tell you, if you can see anything better than this, turn to it heart and soul and take full advantage of this greater good you've found. Marcus Aurelius Meditations 3.6.1. So before we even read their discussion on it, my takeaway from Marcus's reflection is sometimes crap happens, and like once you can overcome that and just accept it, turn it into a good, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, more or less. Take full advantage of this greater good you've found. And so you've found. It's up to you. It's up to you to find it in yourself, to find the answers, to find something better. We've all chased things we thought would matter. At some point, we all thought that money would be the answer, that success was the highest prize, that the undying love of a beautiful person would finally make us feel warm inside. What do we find when we actually attain these sacred objects? Not that they are empty or meaningless, only those who have never had them think that. But what we find is that they are not enough. Money creates problems. Climbing one mountain exposes another higher peak. There is never enough love. There is something better out there, though. It's real virtue. It is its own reward. Virtue is the one good that reveals itself to be more than we ever expect, and something that one cannot have in degrees. We simply have it or we don't, and that is why virtue, made as it is of justice, honesty, discipline, and courage, is the only thing worth striving for. Yeah, that's a tough one because there's a lot of times I've failed in my past. I've not been virtuous. Um, it's tough. It's tough to say because like justice, honesty, discipline, courage. There's times when I've not had discipline. There's times when I've not been just to other people. There's times I've not been honest to others or myself. We are, or what is it? The way you do anything is the way that you do everything, and so that's kind of one of those reflections that I've had throughout my life of, if I'm going to do it this way, then what does that say? And so I've always kind of practiced the Japanese art of maybe like kaizen, constant improvement. And I don't know, like recently I had this instance of failing in the moment, knowing that I was doing something in the moment where I was failing not only myself but other people. And I don't know, I continued to do it, and I don't know what compelled me to do so, but having that happen and then reading this, it kind of hurts. It's gut wrenching. Um, just because of how I let myself down, knowing that I could have done better. And I think that's what it is. It's always just trying to choose the better option in any situation that you're in. Um, I think that you'll fail sometimes, and sometimes it's called self sabotage, but that's a different discussion for other folks. And so maybe that's what it is, but that's kind of the whole reason we read these books and try to have daily reflections, to realize flaws in our character, to realize these things that make us human, that make us self-sabotage, that make us inherently dishonest, or that make us lie to ourselves. I mean, there's a reason that a lot of these teachings talk about not worrying too much about like what other people think or perceive. As long as you're doing the right thing for yourself, that will emanate into the world. And so yeah, the ebbs and the flows. I mean it's powerful. It's just like, it's kind of just like the reading. This refers to like being close to the goal when the enemy is far. If you are striving like to do your duty and to be courageous and like do all of these things that kind of do have an alignment with military tradition and military uprightness, in a way, standing your ground, awaiting those far away, awaiting the weary while you're comfortable. And so a personal, I guess, reflection slash outcome slash um, observation is, oh, and I just lost it. This is so embarrassing. Thing is this is not getting edited because it's almost over. So this just really helps us think about all the things in the moment, to do this courage, and also know that we're only human. But okay, standing your ground, awaiting those. I need to read the raw one. Husbanding your strength. Yes, so this is your inner struggle. um you are the enemy and the army. You are Sun Tzu and you are the enemy. And so you're not like, you are both. Similar to Jung's idea of the id, the shadow, you are both in one. And so that's more or less my takeaway from a more philosophical perspective, is that um, based on where you were maneuvering and positioning yourself around these terms of justice, honesty, discipline, and courage, that is, are you the one near the goal, or are you the army far away from the goal? Are you awaiting the other ones in comfort, or are you weary traveling to your destination? And so I think, like, with these ideas, justice, honesty, discipline, courage, these are worth striving for. And they make you feel good when you do them consistently. And then, of course, the rest of the book is about, not being prideful and not getting a big head. Not the rest of the book, but you know what I mean. So all of this stuff is to balance and think and reflect and move forward, and balance and think and reflect and move forward. And as we keep moving through these year after year, hopefully we can take away more and more insights into ourselves and how we can be better. So always remember that the art of war is not just about winning in business. It's about winning the battle with yourself. So keep standing tall in the battle, and we'll see you on the next one.